All right, everybody, welcome to the show. This is the Bull Light Show again. Tonight we have me as the host. Yay! I'm trying it out for the first time. We've got Dutchy coming in from Hawaii. Good evening.
What's up,
We
y'all?
we got Moo or Bull Light on the line, and we've got Jimmy coming in straight up from Staten Island, New York. How's everybody doing this evening?
Excellent, babe.
Awesome, awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and get it kicked off. So we started talking about some of these hot events that are happening in the news lately, and one of the big events that we were talking about was the Caesar from Black Ink Crew in New York and how he assaulted his dog. Dusty, I'm gonna let you kick this one off if you don't mind, Shug.
I don't. And assault is mildly putting it. I would like to be very specific. He actually treated his dog like it was in a wrestling match, which involved metal chairs, a hill, and a dog being pushed down the hill. So it's pretty bad. So the guy's name, does anybody, Caesar? It's Caesar, right?
Caesar. Yep, Caesar
Caesar
from
from
Black Ink, New
New
York.
York, Black Ink Crew. But this guy, he has a lot of controversy that follows him anyway. So we do have, what do we know about Caesar? We do know that he has a history of abuse. His daughter has actually spoke on the situation, who was also 17 years old. So here's one of the comments. So beating his 17-year-old daughter naked in the shower, taking her phone and kicking her out with nowhere to go was fine. But beating a dog is where we draw the line. Shaking my head. Don't get me wrong. He's such an asshole for what he did to the dogs, but it just goes to show these networks.
I gotta admit it. I gotta admit that I agree with that person in that comment, man. Sometimes we treat our pets better than we treat human beings.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, we gotta do better. We really
that's
do.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we have there's a video. So the video was caught, and the controversy is right now. They don't know if his girlfriend is the one that circulated the video or who, but there was a ring light involved. The video is pretty disgusting.
Wait. I hate to cut you off, but you mean his ring light caught him whooping his dog's ass?
I think I want to say it might have been his ring light.
His own shit.
So, unless you had somebody that lived on top of him and the angle that it was. This is why the controversy is who actually sent the video. So as the video goes, you see Caesar coming out. Actually, how about I play the audio? Because the audio is just as bad. If I could get the audio real quick. So the audio is just as bad as the video because he is actually screaming at the dog. He's cursing at the dog. 1 second, I'm gonna go ahead.
So while you pulling up that audio, I'm gonna jump to Jimmy. We're gonna pass the blunt real quick. Jimmy, what you got to say on this, man?
I think it's disgusting. That's why they have anger management classes, you know. Obviously, the guy is touched a nerve somewhere where he's not responsive and thinking normal. You just don't think normal throwing a little dog down a hill or beating it with a chair or even that sake. Look, I have a daughter. I never raised my hand to my daughter, let alone my voice, you know. And something's wrong, you know. The guy, again, it could be peer pressure, it could be the show, you know. You got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning, Mook, you know that. Who knows what's on the guy's mind? But honestly, I think he should be arrested, and I think VH1 should take him completely off the show, so it shows that you can't do this stuff, you know. You just can't. This is a bad thing, you know. We're becoming very volatile. Who knows? Was it COVID? Who knows his stress, you know? Who knows if he overspent his money and he owes a lot of taxes? But the responsible thing is that he should pay the price, and VH1 should take his show down or get him off of the show.
VH1 has successfully parted ways. They've also, which I'll read the statement here in a minute.
So they did, Dutch. They did.
Yes, they did.
They kicked his ass
so
to the curb.
awesome, man. Yeah, there you go.
So here's the audio of what happened.
Wow.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
That's the crate, ain't it?
That's him throwing something.
Oh, I heard the dog.
Now you can barely hear him, but he's cursing at the dog. There's nobody else there but him and the dog.
Just about a bitch.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And who took the film? Did his girlfriend take the film,
It
or?
was on. It got caught on the ring light from his house. The
Mm,
ring
mm.
camera.
The
Oh,
ring
the
camera.
ring. Thank God for the ring, right?
Yeah.
He's not saying that.
No, he's not saying that.
That
He's
there's
saying
somebody
ring
else in
around
the
my
background.
Rosie. That's for sure.
There's nobody else there in that background. It's just him outside of the garage with the dog.
Hey, Bull Light, what you got to say about this, man?
It's still playing.
Oh, it is? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
No, it's no sound yet. He's gonna come back and you're gonna hear him kick the kennel
Lord.
down the hill.
Jesus.
Man, it's really crazy, you know. I'm like, you know, as a normal person, or all of us, would we ever think of hurting a little dog? You know, I mean, or causing harm to anybody? You know, it's pretty radical.
Yeah.
I hope that honestly, I don't hate people. I just hope he finds help. You know,
So what you guys missed him saying was, "You're still fucking here." The dog. So dogs are loyal. The dog runs under the car and he waits. And then the guy comes. So all that commotion that you hear was him coming out of the garage. That loud slam you heard was him throwing the metal chair. He grabs the metal chair like a wrestler, and he hits the dog with it multiple times. So that's the sound that you guys are hearing, is him hitting the dog with the chair. And
wow.
the last sound that you hear is him kicking the kennel. And the kennel, the dog, he grabs the kennel. The dog goes into the kennel like most dogs. He's trained to obviously go into the kennel. And when the dog goes into the kennel, he kicks the kennel, and the kennel goes to topple down the hill, and the dog escapes out of the kennel.
Oh my God, man, this
Hey,
guy.
let's let Bull Light comment real quick.
An innocent dog, something that can't defend itself. That means you'll hurt a child. You'll hit a woman.
Well, you see what he did to his daughter.
Yeah, you'll do a lot of disgusting things if you can. He just did it with no hesitation. He did it with no
that dog.
Yeah, he's got real issues. Yeah, he's got bad issues. This guy, man.
Yeah, and he's got.
I used to watch
violence.
Hey, Bull Light, go ahead.
I used to watch that show a lot. You know, the Black Ink Crew, and then certain things in his character always let me know what type of dude he is. I didn't rock with him at all. I didn't really like certain things he did, and it let me know his character. And what's that?
Wow, that's interesting, Luke. I never saw it.
Like, what was it? What
I gotta step out. Sorry, hold up. Damn, I couldn't hear you.
He said, "What was your?"
Hold on, I'm sorry.
No worries.
He was a fucking fuckboy. He's a pussy, and I really don't mess with him. Certain things he did, it showed me that he's the type that'll beat on a defenseless dog, beat on a defenseless child, and be as petty as he is. He's like, that's one of the worst things you could do, to beat on something defenseless. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, it froze up. Did y'all hear me?
Yeah, Luke, was he very abrasive? Was he abrasive on the show?
He was a real asshole, bro.
You know, I never saw the show, and I'm sorry I didn't see it. I did read about what was sent, and then I looked on the video, and it cut out. I saw the chair outside. I guess it was his driveway, and I just saw that, and then the video cut out, and then it said this video cannot be shown or whatever. Maybe it was on Facebook or something.
And maybe they started to ban it just because of the abuse. Like, that's just crazy. Peter's gonna be
Mook, you know,
all
I wish I would have saw his character on the show. It would have said a lot about him, probably, without a doubt.
He's a piece of shit. I'm sorry, he is.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, let me tell you, the poor dog, he hit his daughter, man. You know what I would like to do? I would like 5 minutes I would like 5 minutes in a closed room with him, and I want to see how badass he is.
Oh shit!
So here's the statement that VH1 put out.
Obviously, he's not.
No, he's not gonna fight a man. Guys like that, they don't fight men.
No, right? You're right, babe. That's right. You're 100% right.
Not at all.
So here's the statement that VH1 put out per their site. We have made the decision to cut ties with Caesar Emanuel from the Black Ink Crew, New York. Since next season was close to finishing production, the decision will not impact the upcoming season. So they have no problem going on and continuing the season without him at this point. But they've severed all ties with him, and I don't foresee him coming back.
Wow, hey, listen, that's really big, Dutch. I want to tell you, that's important. That shows good class and character on VH1. You cannot be allowed, and this is the violence. You cannot be allowed, like the same thing with the slap to Chris Rock or anything. They banned him for 10 years. You know what? Guess what? Now you're out. Now let him sulk in his wounds and now let him feel the pain, because this is going to drive his whole life into the ground without a doubt. And I'm really glad to hear that VH1 got rid of him. Yeah. Goodbye. See you. Hate to be here.
Deuces.
Take care and brush your hair.
So what do we think about this Suge Knight incident, guys?
Wait, I'm sorry. Did he say take care and brush your hair?
He did.
Yes, you like that one, Rob?
He did.
See you. Hate to be here. Take care and brush your hair.
I like that.
Hey, I want to tell you, man, Suge Knight, wow. I saw that video. Who the hell knows? He could have been getting threatened. Look, you're at that level. You're out in Compton. They're fighting. They're arguing. Who knows what they're talking about? It could have been over drugs. It could have been over money. It could have been anything. And the guy was trying to get out of there. I don't think he intentionally meant to kill the guy. I mean, he's not a very nice person, but besides the point, I don't think he should be going to manslaughter or for murder. I don't think it was anything like that. I think it just was a mistake, and the guy was standing there.
It was manslaughter because a man lost his life. So if it wasn't murder, it was manslaughter. And if he was charged with manslaughter, he wouldn't have got all that time that he got.
Right.
I think it was bad what he did. I think it was malicious. I'm sorry. I think he knew he wanted to get away, but at the same time, he didn't have the heart to fight these dudes, so he used his vehicle. That's my opinion. I'm sorry.
We don't know, man.
Suge Knight reminds me of a Big Red from the Temptations, right? My office hours are from
between 9 and 5.
Monday through Friday. And the way he was holding that dude over the railing, I can totally see Suge doing some shit like that.
I think Suge was a bully that hadn't met his bully yet.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Did you know he was an ex-professional football player?
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, this isn't the first time we've heard of Suge doing something malicious to somebody, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like,
that is so true, man. That is so true.
I think malicious is a small word to use for this guy. I think the shit that Suge has done has been beyond malicious, man. Since we're on women beaters, he's the epitome.
Yeah, Michelle A.
Yeah. He's beyond malicious, dude. You got to look at how big he is and the fact that he was a football player. And look at how small she was. And he wasn't just smacking her around. This dude was whooping her ass with a closed fist. Now, imagine that. A closed fist. This big ass dude.
Yeah, that's treacherous, man. Yeah. Yep, that's true. That's treacherous.
Even if they call this a mistrial, he ain't never getting out of jail. He's done.
I was gonna ask. I mean, how we feel about him getting the mistrial, though? Do you think he should have had to pay these people this money?
I think
took a man's life.
I think anything that somebody says Suge did, he did that shit.
No reputation precedes him all the way, man.
I don't care what if they said he did it, he did it.
He did it. If he didn't do it, he was there and he know who did
it. That's about Suge. He didn't pay somebody to do it or knew or was associated with the person. That's my take on Suge.
Jimmy, what you got to say? We coming back.
You know what bothers me about a person like that? I think he's paying for his sins, because what bothers me about music, even in rock or the rap and the whole war with the East Coast, West Coast, no togetherness. He's not a very wholesome person, or he wouldn't have been in that situation. And we weren't there to recognize really what went down. But I got to tell you, in that situation, what more would you do if you're by yourself and you got guys attacking you or whatever it is, an argument, and the guy's not getting out of his way? You might be nervous, you're scared, you react. Even a big guy like him, he was by himself.
But you might be a Suge Knight lover. There's more.
Say that again.
If some guys are pushing you to fight and you don't see no guns or nothing like that, You can't use your vehicle to run them down and mow them down.
Yeah, Mick,
That's
but
not
Mook, I
cool.
don't know if there was guns. I don't know if they were threatening him. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to shoot you. Who the hell knows what went down? But obviously, there was nothing good going down. What was he doing there? What was he with these thugs for? This is a horrible
Well,
situation.
wait a minute, Jim. I think that
Well,
what
he
they
was
were
there
saying is that
for
he was on the
business.
set of Straight Outta Compton when this went down. When he
Yes,
hit
I
the man.
know, but
So he was
no,
there
I
on
know,
the
but
set.
he wasn't really at that point on any kind of movie thing. It was really off you know what, like, in other words, look, if you're an actor or you're a filmmaker, when the camera's off, you leave and you go. You go
Okay.
home. That's it. You come the next day, whatever you're filming. Obviously, they were hanging out, and that's what I mean. What were they doing there? What were they hanging out for? What was the argument? It could be
Gotcha.
anything.
Gotcha.
You
You
know,
got anything else?
Tupac, and you know, he was involved in all of that. He was in the car with Tupac when they got shot. You know, he's just not a good seed. They could have been arguing. You know, I should
There
be
was
doing
a
this. This one should be doing that. Who the heck knows? But I
Yeah,
just
that's a
don't.
lot of speculation. That's a lot of
Yeah,
speculation.
that's what I'm
well,
saying. So
there's a clip in one of Pac's songs that says Suge shot me. I don't know if y'all know anything about that, but that's a different topic.
Oh shit.
yeah. You know, but I just really feel that
What
he.
you say, more? Wait,
Wait. Hold fast. Pass the blunt. What you say, Moo?
That's questionable. In the studio they could do a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
people speculated that. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
You never know, man. The industry is a cold game.
Yeah,
And they allowed Suge to do a lot of this shit. It wasn't just Suge was this big bad motherfucker. The industry allowed Suge, like they allow a lot of people to do a lot
That's
of
right.
shit.
Oh yeah.
And
That's right, Dutch.
real power behind Suge was not Suge. It was the industry that allowed Suge. And once they got tired of Suge's shit, they hung Suge out to dry. So y'all come get
That's
him.
right.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very
Yeah.
true.
He didn't deserve all that time, but I see where Jimmy coming from, like he was scared or whatever. But sorry, you can't mow men down when they want to fight you. Then get your ass in the car and drive away. Then you don't fucking.
Yeah, Mook.
He ran over one dude and he backed up on another dude.
Yeah, that's true, man. I agree with you. I wouldn't mow anybody down, but I wouldn't be in that situation, you know. And who the hell knows, you know, that's the problem with a lot of musicians, even rock bands. I'm better than you. You're better than me. We're better, you know.
Yeah, that shit goes to their head.
Yeah, it goes to their heads, and instead of embracing their music or embracing what they created and believed in, I mean, this shit went on even in the 1800s, man. I mean, the first when Joplin started creating jazz, man, they hated him. You know, black musicians were against him. What do you know? This is nonsense music, and they were impacting instead of embracing. And this I don't get. You know, I think Suge Knight is a bad person. I don't think he should go to jail because there's just too much misconception. But I guarantee you.
You don't think he should go to jail? He's already in jail. Hopefully he stays there.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. But if they let him out and whatever goes down, I'm going to be honest with you. If he did something evil, I think he's going to face the same thing that Tupac faced, you know, because, you know, as much as I love Tupac's music and Biggie Smalls, I thought were amazing.
Lord, Jimmy, you about to start a whole nother argument. Hold fast.
No, I know, babe. But I'm talking about this is Suge Knight, and this is his situation and his testimony in his life, and what he's done is not really you know, proper. Nothing he's done in his life is proper.
Conversation. I almost adjusted my little.
Girl, I was like, hold fast. That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. Whole nother show.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
but look, you know, I do agree with Jimmy in this sense, and it has no color, it has no race, it's about fame. And you will see, especially males. So here's what we have with the women, here's what we have with the males. We have males, they become womanizers. We have women that become these ultimate divas, bitches, or however you want to put it.
Right.
They these very
Bitches.
all of the above. They get this very, I'm here and you're there. You get this misogynistic type of element, and you throw all of this together with an enormous amount of money.
Yeah.
You have to think. I have money. I have an industry behind me that, as long as I'm putting out good music and I do whatever these people want me to,
That's
they're
right.
gonna cut my ass out of whatever. So I'm gonna have drugs at my disposal. I'm gonna have women or men at my disposal.
Anything.
The Gucci
Anything.
stores, the Louis Vuitton stores, they're gonna want me to sponsor. So they're gonna offer me free shit, because that's what people fail to realize. These people aren't spending all of their money on all designer shit. These designers are giving them these things for promotion. So
That's
they have
right.
Their brand.
designers in
That's
their
right. That's true. That's true.
have all of these things that are available to them. So now it's like, well, shit. I have hotels that are begging me to come stay there because it boosts up their ratings and their stars. This place wants me to come and visit their city. This designer wants me to wear their shit. I mean, at this point, I do what the fuck I want to. And
But
that's
the problem is, and you're right, and a lot of these kids also have come from backgrounds where they had no role models.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so they're brand new to money. They just don't know how to act. So it's
That's
like
so true, man. That's so true.
And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, now,
Yeah, it really is.
Now we have, and here's the dangers of that. The dangers are now, and this is what I'm going to say. I'm not saying that it has happened. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened, because this is for the courts to decide. When you put that type of money and that type of fame, you get women, and you either going to get a man that is very misogynistic and feels like he could take whatever he wants because he's famous, or you're going to get a woman that's going to lie on him because you understand. So now you're in a situation like the Chris Browns and the Trey Songz, where now we can't tell because of the Amber Heards out there, we can't tell who's lying and who's not lying, because
That's right. It's scary shit, man. Really is.
he's rich.
That's
So we
why
don't
it's so
know if he's
detrimental when the sacred
because
women
he's rich, and we feel like he's rich, he don't have to, or maybe he's rich and he feels like, I'm the last person y'all are gonna think doing this shit.
Good point. Good point. Pastor Blunt the move. What you got to say, Boo?
Nah, you're right though, and you're right on everything you said. But that's why it's so crazy. Like when women, unfortunately, they're held to a higher standard than men, because men history is so fucked up and so foul, So when women lie, it causes more damage. Sorry, unfortunately, it might be a sexist statement, but it's more damaging, when the woman lies, because it's like, who do we believe now? It's fucking.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? It's really disgusting. And I'm glad that her ass is in TJ Maxx, fucking shopping at TJ Maxx now.
Oh man, I like TJ Maxx. Don't come for us. Hey.
Yeah, she was looking for that shirt sale.
Let's talk about somebody who continues to get told the truth on. Mr. Bill Cosby.
Is it the truth? This might be the truth. This one might be the truth.
Let's talk about it.
This one might, I'm devil's advocate on all things screwed up in life. All right. We said something before about this. Now, I had an opinion, which is different from this situation. My opinion about the other women was, if you go to a married man's hotel after a certain hour, a known married man, what the hell are you doing in this hotel? Now, when you talk about the Playboy Mansion, that's
a 14 to 15-year-old girl.
That's something different. That is a very different subject, because and they didn't put all these little docuseries and shit out on you.
Oh,
so we know for a fact that there was young girls in the Playboy Mansion. We are aware of this now. There's docuseries now.
That a lot of powerful people were involved in that. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And dogs. Don't forget about the dogs. There was dogs, too.
Those poor animals.
Those poor animals. Yes, those poor animals. So, this time...
I wonder if they'll take Hugh down like they took down or if they'll take down Playboy. I mean, Hugh's dead now, but will they take down Playboy the way they're going to go after Caesar?
Of course not.
You know why? It's an American staple.
Yeah, that's he's got it right, because it's an American staple. When they didn't fry his ass for having 12-year-old Brooke Shields on the cover naked, y'all should have known they wasn't gonna do shit.
Yeah,
they had 12-year-old,
12 years old
naked Brooke Shields on the cover of Playboy. Her first cover was new.
I remember that.
Her mother agreed to it.
That's insane.
Now, when America said that's okay, that's it.
You knew it was a problem.
No, that solidified everything right there for that man's career. When he was allowed to post a 12-year-old girl on his cover naked, and nobody batted an eye, And this happened in the 70s. Nobody came back and did the same shit the Santa Claus song. They didn't tell them to remove it.
Disgusting.
They didn't get rid of it. They just let you can
and
go find it now.
The big issue with my great country, America, or the country I love, and the country that I'm not leaving, the country that my kids are coming up in. Is we selective with the history. We're bringing back history on different people, and we be very selective. But we need to bring back the history on the things that that really important, the things that made us, and the reason why we're going through the certain things we're going through now is because we're not addressing the real and addressing these type of things that we let slide because of bureaucracy and the bullshit of people that got connections with powerful people and all that. Like, how is Hugh Hefner not put on this fucking before he died? I'm sorry, rest in peace, but like not even him. Like, there's a lot of more people that's involved, and like we be selective with the history we want to pull up and fire the people that we. Like, come on, let's be real with this history. Let's get into it.
Well, bro,
Jimmy,
Harvey Weinstein.
You talk about, and you older, Epstein. So you know about the Playboy. You were there with the Brooke Shields and all that. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, hey man, look, it's not a white and black thing. It's a woman. It's discretion against a woman, period. And Harvey Weinstein is paying the price. Epstein, they killed him because they would have implicated Clinton. They would have implicated a lot of people. And did you ever see that movie Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah, they got Giselle, don't they?
No, but Bill Cosby was very involved in that. My father had built Dangerfields, and I met Bill Cosby when I was 9 years old. And I was with Rodney Dangerfield. And I remember when Bill Cosby left, Mel Brooks, not Mel Brooks, Rodney Dangerfield commented. He goes, we're all going upstate, telling a gentleman, Sal Surace, God rest his soul. But he told Sal Surace, I was listening to the whole thing. He goes, we're all going up to the hill. Now that's where orgies and craziness goes on, and drugs and poppers and sleepers, and they were all involved in it. Everybody's involved in it. It's a mess and mayhem. Yeah, some get caught with their pants down, some don't. But Bill Cosby got caught with his pants down. He went to the deep end like Epstein did. That's when you're powerful and you're Bill Cosby, you think you're invisible. He's a funny son of a bitch, very intelligent guy, a very smart and very quick-witted person. And I met him a couple of times, many times at the After Awards, and I saw him in the Laugh-In in L.A. Yeah, it's just he got caught. That's it. Just like Harvey Weinstein got caught. I remember being in the Dukop Hotel and watching Harvey Weinstein take two twin sisters in the room because they wanted to be in a film. Guess what? Look at Les Chocolat. You'll see them both in that film. And yeah, this is what goes down. This is what goes down. It's ugly. I've been it. I've experienced it, and I wanted to get out because of that ugliness.
That's crazy. Thanks for
Bill
the time.
Cosby been to the Playboy Mansion a lot of times, and he was a friend of Hugh Hefner. Now,
but I wonder,
the question is,
go ahead.
Do you think Hugh Hefner would have been in some trouble right now if he was still alive? Do you think people would be questioning him right now, or because he's powerful Playboy Mansion? No. You know what I mean?
I wonder who's questioning Christy Hefner, because she took over as a female and she started running that empire back then.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. The Me Too movement is a powerful fucking movement. And if they want you, just as powerful as the LGBTQ.
Absolutely.
If they want you, they will have you.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm going to tell you, it's funny what Mook said. It's very true. They are selective, because we have another gentleman that nobody's batting an eye at who got accused here recently, and that was Morgan Freeman. And ain't nobody talking about that.
I never heard anything on that.
Exactly. See my point. That's my point.
Black and white thing. And Morgan Freeman is very powerful Hollywood guy.
Yes,
hey, the dark side. Look at Dorothy Stratton, man, what went down. They're all having parties, and he hooks up with the hottest girl there. Next minute, she gets her head blown off because she pissed off guys. It's a mess. The whole thing is a mess. And the bottom line is Bill Cosby got caught. That's it. And
Pastor Blunt,
hundreds of thousands. I mean, look at the football players. You have no idea. Even Lawrence Phillips, greatest running back in the world, man. He got involved in being a sociopath, and that's what they become. They become nuts. They think they can get away with anything. Nygar, man, I could tell you a story about Nygar. Bill Cosby's been to Nygar's house 100 times.
wow.
It's orgy heaven. It's they took the Fuji girl, like you said. They want somebody. They took
Wow.
the Fuji model and they raped her.
Right. Damn, Jim. I'm sure the list goes on and on and on. Tony, I mean, Dutchie.
So, yeah. You guys, has anybody seen Taken? List of
Taken, yes.
With Liam Nielsen?
Yeah.
The movie is about very powerful, rich men, very extremely wealthy.
Man,
rich,
that shit goes
men.
down.
And these men are seeking out a certain type of women, virgins, whatever have you. And this man's daughter just so happened. Now, my point of all this is, you got to be crazy as fuck to think that these movies are not based on a portion.
Oh yeah, real life.
Absolutely.
With the way that these movies are done, and then this is to go back to Moo's question about if Hugh Hefner was alive now, I think it depends. Now, they had Epstein, they killed him. We all know that he didn't just hang himself. Now, they have his partner, Maxine Giselle, or however you say her name. And something just popped up on the news a couple days ago where an inmate was received an offer to kill her. And that's been on the news. So they're trying to off her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're already trying to off her. Now, again, this goes back to what we were saying earlier. You've got to be foolish to think with all this money, you can only have, okay, and this is going to get real heavy, but it's the truth. You can only have regular sex, but so much when you're strong, when you're rich and you're famous. You can only have but so many regular women at your disposal. You can only have but so much regular shit at your disposal when shit starts getting weird, man. The drugs start. You start wanting weirder shit. You start wanting kinkier shit. You start wanting to venture out into other things. So when you start venturing out into all of this other shit, you start getting into some different types of kinks, wants, and very inappropriate.
Without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
and then you start dabbling in shit like human trafficking. You got to be crazy to think that it's only just your regular Joe that's human trafficking overseas. You think celebrities not involved in some of this shit?
Oh my God, they've been doing it for years.
If celebrities had nothing to hide, there would be no such thing as an NDA. There would be no reason to sign anything.
Yes.
While we hang out, I got to sign some shit that says you're not going to go and repeat what the hell we're doing.
Yes.
How does that exist? Holly weird, not Hollywood, baby. Holly weird.
Hey, man, you know, I seen the dark side of all this, and it really pushed me away from. I loved the movie business. I loved it, but when I started experiencing, I could tell you guys some really bad shit, but it's bad, you know, and it's heartbreaking because a lot of people do suffer. They are traumatized from it, you know, and a lot of people have died from it, but it's bad. It's a bad scene. And you're 100% right, Dutch. That stuff in that movie Taken goes down all the time.
Hey,
that's why you see women getting abducted, man. You know?
Oh yeah, all the time. Pastor
yeah, all the time, baby.
Like,
when you think
it's bad. This is a bad scene, man.
Wait, Jim, hold fast. Bull Light got the blunt.
When you think you're above the law, when you think you got enough money to where you're above the law, that's a problem. That's when it's dangerous. Like,
that's right.
Laws for reasons, and you can't go, victimizing children or doing this and that because you're rich enough and you think you're above the law. It's disgusting. It's terrible. All these people need to be put in a room with me for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it'll be done. You know, I don't like this fucking. It's terrible. And I understand, like Michael Jackson. Look at Michael Jackson. He was weird. He was crazy. But there's nobody in the world that met that type of fame and stardom and the money. So these things he went through these changes, and people.
Hey, bro, he also didn't have a good childhood. He didn't have a good childhood, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about what fame and money does to people.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, facts. Well, Now let's talk about a brother getting treated like a regular old brother, Vince Carter. Huh? Y'all heard he got robbed?
Yeah, damn. Your caption just ran across my head.
Wait, where was he at?
No, it's not funny. It's not funny. So I don't think he was at home. I think his wife and kids were at home. And 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 somebody broke into his house while his wife and kids were there. They heard them breaking in. The wife and kids went and hid in the closet. These people ran off with about $100,000 worth of cash and jewels and stuff, and dropped like 16 grand running away from security.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, man.
He's lucky they didn't. He wasn't there.
Yeah,
Man, that's crazy.
yeah. But that just goes to show anybody
like
can still get got, right? So these people still thinking
Yeah,
they
that's like
above the law.
Oh yeah. It says the burglars were already on their way out the building when an off-duty Atlanta police officer noticed one of the suspects,
Yep.
who chased until the thief hopped into an SUV and sped off.
Did they catch them?
No.
More than 16K, the 100 bills were spilled onto the family's gated home. An enormous 100K was taken. Girl, you were on your shit with your accuracy. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. They hid all the footsteps were heard. So yeah, they were very much so hiding in the closet. That is some bold shit.
Right?
Because back in the day, you didn't hear about so many robberies of the rich. Like you've had Kylie Jenner's house has been breached by a stalker. You've had some really rich
Kim Kardashian, when she was married to Kanye. Yeah.
So you would assume that the level of security that these people would have. So the baby, he had a guy hop over his shit that he just shot, you know. And
hell, didn't somebody hop over the fence when Obama was in office?
I don't know.
Yeah, that happened, but
I mean, let's talk about the White House being breached. But just in general,
people that have the means of having high level security, that just goes to show, and if we're all aware of this, how desperate people are to say fuck it. You know what I mean? They're either that desperate, or the celebrities are a little bit more regular than what we assume.
Yeah.
And since the pandemic happened, you don't really realize how many people lost so much money. They stopped movie production, music production. You know, a lot of people lost jobs, so that might have included security too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you think about it. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, man.
100K.
100K. What he got 100K laying around the house for? Ain't this brother heard of a bank?
Land in the house?
Like seriously, a bank, man. Yeah, the FDIC would have been sure your ass, dumb.
Honey, they stole 100K. I think they left 16,000 in the driveway.
Just flying away.
Okay. We'll just pick that up. Have the maids pick that up. Shit,
he's a billionaire. But you know, the reason why all these things are happening, just like Pop Smoke, he was on Instagram, rest in peace, and he gave away an address to the Airbnb. The guys were out there flocking, and that's what the word in California is when they run in their houses, they call it flocking. And that's what happened. But right now in California, it's like a purge. That's the thing to do right now. And it's the reason why it's happening so much, because they're getting all the information from the accessible internet and different sources, which is not like the. So everybody knows where everybody's at. Everybody knows what everybody's doing, and it's a part of the celebrities' whole thing to show what they're doing. It's a part of their lifestyle.
So let me ask y'all something.
That's crazy.
Y'all think that they really will start to purge, like have a real purge? Because it's starting to seem that way.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be crazy, though.
Man, it would be fun.
No, just hear me out. Hear me out. The way that
y'all to be at my house, I got the guns.
Slowly like think about it. We were just talking about the guns having chips in them and the doors being automatically closed and so forth. Once technology really kicks in within the next 5 years, it's not impossible to see our government is trash. You can't see them doing a fucking annual purge. I can. Shit, COVID
Bible of the fittest.
Who's to say COVID wasn't a purge?
Dutchy, guess what? They had no control during the LA riots, so yeah, it's possible. When the LA riots went down, they had no control. So yeah, imagine it'll be terrible.
That's what
anarchy, man.
I think COVID was a purge. COVID was a legal governmental purge. Let that sink. They already started their purge.
Well, speaking about purging and gun laws, just a quick highlight or a quick note. The Senate just passed its first major federal gun safety legislation in decades. It was a bipartisan agreement. It still has to go through the House. We'll keep our eye on that and see what happens next. But yeah, I think the purge would be pretty effing cool. I'm ready.
Oh my God.
I got
You're
a
ready,
couple of
girl. You
people
got
I'm
all the
gunning
guns,
for.
man.
No.
You know,
That wouldn't be cool.
listen,
You'd
if
probably
they're
be one of
breaking
the
it,
ones
they're
crying,
breaking into
"Oh!"
celebrities' houses and shit like this. I'm not ready for the purge yet. Let me up my security.
Oh
first.
yeah, for sure, for sure,
We
for
need to
sure,
take care of the security problem
for
everybody's
sure.
having.
I need like metal gates around my shit, like bulletproof glass immediately.
If you break into this man's house and just 100K, yeah,
And
I'm
I,
gonna put security.
man,
I bet you everybody has a house they'd like to visit.
Oh,
nah, I'm gonna stay in my own shit. I'm gonna be like right here. I ain't going to nobody else's shit because I don't know what the hell they got going on. I'll be right here. Oh Lord. So look, there were a couple other things that we could have talked about, but let's talk about Nike leaving Russia, man. So a lot of manufacturers are now starting to leave Russia because of the war in Ukraine. Nike's leaving, McDonald's is left, Google is left. What kind
Visa
of
was
impact do you think that's gonna have? Go ahead, Dutchie.
Visa was the first ones to do it. Visa, they were the first ones to say that they stopped all that. So Visa's not doing any business there. If you had anything having to do with Visa, the banks, there's a no. So that was the first thing. So you have to think it's a chain effect. If Visa's not dealing with them, now you have to think of how many purchases are made by Visa. Do you understand? So that's a large portion of purchases.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't do business either. For business reasons, it could look like they're doing it all in good faith. But don't forget that Visa was the first one to stop doing any business with Russia. It's a business move on top of whatever political reasons that they're using.
Yeah, that's a serious thing.
Yeah,
wait, it wasn't just us with the vodka first?
No, not at all.
That's like one of their largest exports, ain't it? The vodka?
Visa, but with
Visa, yes, for sure, because that impacts everything coming in and out.
Import, export, money, banking systems, that all of that ties into, how you give and receive funds. So now you have Nike saying, well, guys, it's been real, but we're out too. You know what I mean? This is, what other was a big name fashion designer? Is it Christian Dior?
Oh, they pulled out as well?
Yeah, they were done. They were next after Visa. So a lot of Russians started burning whatever. I don't know if it was Christian Dior, but it was one of those. It wasn't Louis Vuitton. It could have been Christian Dior or I think it was Christian Dior. But they started burning all their stuff.
Wow.
A lot of influencers, social media influencers, when they did that. So it's a big money move for sure, because what money is coming out of there now at this point, and how much? How are they surviving?
True facts.
These businesses can't survive even if they were to stay. You understand? What money? Ain't nobody worried about Nikes. It's a war going on. You know what I mean?
Well, they said like Nike is like less than 1% of their business comes from Russia and Ukraine anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like they really.
Now they're even worried about Nikes even less.
Yeah. True facts.
Yeah.
True facts. You got any comment on that, Jimmy?
Man, this is a bad scene. I just got off the phone with Sabina, who's a very dear friend of mine. I helped her get out of Odessa. And her uncle, they're all from Russia. They're all Russian. They're all children of Russia. But her uncle worked in, not a Kremlin thing, but he was an accounting executive for the Kremlin. And he had told me that their economy is going to sink just by the visa thing that you were talking about, Dutch. They get a value of 1.5% on any transaction that's made through Visa, and that's a banking transaction. Now they can't do that, and China now is helping them with the banking stuff, but thanks to Biden, they're not helping them with the war effort. But right now, Russia is going to be in big trouble in about 6 months. They're already, the girl Milo, I can't even talk to anybody, but their economy is going to be so bad. The world is leaving them. I mean, even France and Germany, who rely on them, pulling out. That this is big revenue, and Russia now can't rely on outside money because it's confiscated. But the ruble, how do you get ruble when nobody carries ruble? That's one of the least carried money. And now Russia, the problem is that once they cut off the wheat grain, they're going to hurt themselves. But we better pray that something gets resolved, because we're paying for this. We're paying for what we're doing to Russia, and big time. And it's a very serious thing, because our economy could collapse very easily because of this. And the denomination of Visa, MasterCard, all these big banking companies, there's a very big monetary value for Russia and all of us. And don't think that it's not hurting Visa. This is going to get ugly,
No, I agree. I totally agree. Hey,
so
but like, you got anything to add?
No, nothing really, because it's basically only that war is terrible, so nothing good gonna come from it. And we suffering from
We
it,
can't
but
hear you, bruh.
actually.
Mook, did
so
I tell you look handsome today, man?
Oh,
so here's what I got.
I have,
So per the New York Times, here's who's pulled out of Russia as far as consumer goods and retail. Adidas said they're going to suspend sales in Russia. British American Tobacco said it was exiting its Russian business. Canada Goose, I don't know who that is. Fast Retailing, the Japanese clothing company.
Yeah.
H&M, IKEA,
Who still
Nestle,
shops at H&M? Sorry.
Motorola,
Nike, TJX, Unilever, Energy, BP. We all know who BP is. So
The gas. Yeah.
yeah. Exxon is pulling out. Excuse me.
yeah, the world's cutting them off, man. They're a piranha. They're a piranha.
Pulling out. Finances, American Express, Bank of America, BNY Mellon has ceased their business. Citigroup has ceased their business. Dutch Bank has ceased their business. Goldman Sachs has ceased their business. JP Morgan and Chase, MasterCard.
Wow.
Okay. It's fucking
so
serious, man.
everybody's leaving.
Visa. Hey, this is just the financial department. So there's Visa.
Yeah, it's a serious thing.
Oh yeah, so everybody's leaving. It's a mass exodus.
Yeah, so if you have family and you need to, everybody uses if not Western Union, they're using Cash App and stuff like that. But you have Western Union, Zurich Insurance Group, as far as food, Heineken, Little Caesars, Mars, McDonald's, Pepsi, Starbucks, Yum.
MoneyGram.
All of that. Hey, Shebang, I see your comment. I'm gonna come back to you in a sec. Go ahead, Dutch.
Bloomberg, Netflix, the Walt Disney Company, Warner Brothers, Boston Consulting Group, McKinsey, and as far as tech, Amazon Web Designs, Apple, Conjet, Ericsson, Google, IBM, Intel, LG, Lumen, Nokia, SAP, Uber, Airbus, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Hyatt, Hilton, FedEx.
So we can't even get the hell up out of that bitch.
So
anybody who's anybody is out.
I'm gonna let y'all use your imagination. They are fucked, in other words.
Amen. All right, so I'm gonna read a comment from Shebang. Shebang says nobody cared that Ukraine was bombing its own citizens in Babson since 2014, most of whom were Russian-born Ukraine citizens. So value if the ruble is higher than any time in the past 5 years, TGI. Anybody got a comment for Shebangs?
I've got nothing. So
they've been
that's actual fact. You can't argue with a fact. I'm not going to argue with a fact.
Yeah, and it says this really isn't hurting them, unfortunately, which is a damn shame. I
want y'all to remember something. Russians are bred a little bit different.
They are.
Yeah, but it's not hurting them now. It's going to hurt them in about 6 months, because you got to remember that they have money and they're flowing their own money, and they're dealing with the ruble. They're not dealing with outside trade. So after a while, what's going to happen is the companies that sell the oil, sell all the wheat. They're the biggest wheat distributor in Europe.
Yeah, but
Syria, every country relies on their wheat, and Ukraine.
if they survive
Nobody's buying
the
their
Cold
wheat.
War, if they survive the Cold War, they can survive anything. I want you to think about that. These motherfuckers survived the Cold War. Do you understand? Do you know how fucked up that time was?
Yeah,
Man,
that was bad.
Shebang says they're just the boogeyman, man.
They're just
Yeah, no, this is
boogeyman.
going to bite them in the ass, but it's not going to be right away. It's after the trading stops and all that influx. Now they have to rely on their own product. Once they're not able to produce that, it's going to slow down the economy. People, I know. Listen, I know a lot of people in Russia.
boogeyman
Believe
is
me, it's
great.
hurting them. It's hurting
But
them.
look,
Believe me.
there's the black market, so people are still going to be getting gas cheaper if they want. I mean, so there's going to be a way for them to export stuff because people are still going to do stuff illegally. So there's the black market, and these people are probably
Yes,
going to
that'll be
turn
outside of NATO, though,
internally.
babe.
But they're going to turn internally for survival. Do you think if they cut the U.S. off from the rest of the world, we wouldn't be able to survive agriculturally in that effort?
Well, we're the biggest supporters of the world with everything.
Yeah.
We're the strongest nation in the world, even though we owe China so much money. We produce more money. That's why the Mexican cartels and all and Russian mafia make billions and billions of dollars from this country. Yeah, we don't need anybody. Actually, we're one of the only countries that don't need anybody.
Yeah.
But we could survive easily, babe.
And,
Absolutely.
but what my question is, do you think Russia could in that
No,
instance?
I think after a while, without the trade and the money that, they need to bring in a lot of product. They don't produce a lot of product. They don't produce a lot of cars. They bring in a lot of cars. A lot of stuff is imported. They trade a lot of stuff with oil. But if you're not trading that oil, even the black market is not going to be able to survive the economy. And again, this is a trickle down system. What Biden's doing is it's going to trickle down on their economy. Already, my friend Mila had said they don't even have product on the shelves. You have to
Wow.
take turns buying. Like, in other words, if you go shopping twice a week, you can get fined, and then you have to draw a lottery. So in other words, they'll tell you can go shopping from 9 to 12. And it's not, you're not hearing the gist of it, but now all of a sudden I'm cut off from a lot of these people. So Elon Musk has cut off their communication, and they're going to be in big trouble, man. They really are. I honestly think that, right now there's a lot of dissension, and I think even if they get rid of Putin, the same shit's going to go on in Ukraine no matter what.
Sounds like they're
These people are
experiencing
not like us.
the baby formula shortage as we are over here, huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dutchie.
So I got a question. So I wonder, do y'all feel like this is a distraction, this war, from the other war that's coming? And if y'all are not aware, I'm talking about the war that's going to happen in the Pacific. So, and let me give you the short version of this. The fact that we have not intervened in what's happened in Russia and Ukraine, China has already assumed that they can go ahead and decide to, what was it, in Thailand? What is it that they've been after?
They're trying to take over
Taiwan.
Yeah. So
yeah, babe, right. That's right.
So here's the question. Nobody's paying attention to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's usually when you're not paying attention. Do we have to worry about Russia? Better be worried about China and them having to speak in
I'm
China.
worried about China and North Korea personally.
Yeah, that's what you need to be worried about. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm in the Pacific. So because I'm in the Pacific and I'm on one of the Pacific Islands.
Dutch, that's very interesting.
I'm already aware of briefings that are happening because of this, this thing that is supposedly to come. And it's because of the fact that we have not intervened. And us not intervening, they said, well, fuck it, let's try them twice. Why not? You know, you understand what I'm saying? So that's something else that we're not looking at outside of. We're so focused on this Russia Ukraine thing. Nobody's looking at China. You know, and you better watch them before they creep up like thieves in the night. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha. May I say something?
Go for it.
Here's the situation with China and Taiwan. China has been trying to get Taiwan since the early 60s. But there's a thing that we have to understand. You know, Biden had a conversation with the president of China, and the president of China abruptly said to him, hey, I want to let you know that we're a world power, so don't you threaten us. And Biden said, no, I'm not going to threaten you. I'm going to promise you. Here's the problem with Taiwan and China. Biden already told the president of China that if you invade Taiwan, the NATO alliance is so strong that they're not going to buy product from China ever again. That China's economy right now is on a very frail line. Yeah, and believe me, those words are powerful because China does not want that. But we would decimate their economy within a couple of months by just cutting off their product, and everybody's ready to do that. The NATO alliance is so strong that Finland and Estonia and all these countries want to be part of the NATO alliance. So it's right now, this is what's controlling us from not going in. NATO doesn't want to go in because Putin will push nuclear weapons.
So Shebang says China and Taiwan situation is heating up. And then I believe to a comment you may have just said, Jimmy, Shebang says impossible.
Well, I just
they didn't put the context, so I'm just reading.
You know, they're playing games and they're shooting over. China does not have a good military.
Siobhan, please call in. Elaborate if you can, or please give us some context. We'd like some context on that statement. Definitely. But I don't know. But I do feel like keep your eye on China, you know, not just these Russians. The Chinese, they play dirty.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, they play dirty. And they're already sitting right here amongst us. So don't sleep on them. See, we worry, not we, but I mean Americans, the all American, they worry about the Muslims and shit and blowing them up and all this other shit. Yeah,
we worry about the wrong shit.
You're worried about the entirely wrong fucking thing.
We being distracted.
Very much so. Very much so. It's a lot of distractions. A whole lot.
Shebangs, I'm sorry about that. You can't call in this evening. I don't have the phone call set up just yet. So I apologize for that. We should have that technology up and running back again next week.
My fault. We're going to transfer it to...
this is all very touchy, man. This is a very touchy situation.
So...
100 Proof said, who are these people?
Would y'all like to know how I feel about Ukraine? You know, I have to give my asshole expert opinion. Would anybody like to hear my asshole expert opinion?
Let's go for it, Dave.
Yeah. All right. Here's another Nazi-ass country. Let's just keep it a buck. It's Nazis sitting in Ukraine just like it is in fucking Russia. Why do we really care? Why do we, as a whole, when we have a lot of shit fucked up here, because we're going to get into Jimmy's conversation about homelessness and the restaurant business. We have a large amount of homelessness here at home. Yeah. We have a large amount of human trafficking here at home. We have mass shootings and shit here at home. So just saying, me personally.
Starving children.
I don't know if I'm really worried about what the fuck is going on in Ukraine.
Well,
that's just me though.
No, listen, you know, I agree with you. We can all say a lot of things, but I have to tell you, you know, it is about democracy, and look, we supported in the Korean War, in the Vietnam War. We are backing Korea. I mean, we have to back Seoul, Korea. We have to back our countries. We have to back Israel. Do I think we should back Israel? Absolutely not. But we have to. Because there's well, listen, if Russia, no, but wait a minute, Here's the problem. You are creating what Putin wants to actually do is he wants to go into Estonia, Moldova. He wants to go into Lithuania. He wants Finland back. He wants to create the USSR. He was a Kremlin advocate. Believe me, I almost practically lived in the Ukraine. I've been in Russia. The people don't think like us. They're brutal, man. They're
So
cold.
we've got comments coming in, and I'm just going to stop really quick. So we've got 100 proof that said, I'm new to this channel. What's the topic about? Or is there many? So we've covered a lot of things this evening. We'll do a small recap at the end of the show, 100 proof, and we'll let you know what we're talking about. Shebang says they killed 15,000 of their own people. 100 proof says, well, we are the best country in the world. Don't y'all think? Amen to that. 100 proof. I do believe we are the best country in the world, but I do also believe that there's some work that needs to be done at home. Mitchell McNear says Jimmy is right. All right, let's keep the conversation going. I didn't mean to interrupt, but yes, there is.
Tell that person, give that person a gold star, baby.
I really think before we focus on shit that goes elsewhere, anywhere else, we have so much other shit here we got to work on, and nobody really wants to have the race conversation. But again, I like to go against the grain. We don't even have rights in this motherfucker yet. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have rights yet. You know,
no, we do on paper.
On paper, and then even owning, like for instance, me living on this Hawaiian island. Y'all know how many poor people it is on this island? Y'all know the people come here with this idea of paradise, right? And that's the first thing that you think. You're going to see these nice, slim hula girls. First of all, that is not, the shit don't look like nothing on the brochure. Let me tell y'all, all this money to come here, okay? It is a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong. It is a very beautiful place. But here's Hawaii's dirty secret. It is so much homelessness. Just stepping off the plane.
Oh, yes.
Wow, it's bad there too, huh?
Yeah.
And in California.
Yeah. And it's California right now is the highest ranking in homelessness in
161,000 people, man.
So this may relate, and we had 100 proof come in and say, okay, why does our government let foreigners in? I'm against that. I can't say that I agree with you on that 100 proof. I think that foreigners built this country.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because most of us in this panel, including probably you, we have people that have come, that's what built this country.
Yeah.
This country is built on being foreign.
And diversity.
The African, the Italian, Asian, that's just not races. Let's get to ethnicities as well. You know what I mean? So let's not forget, little small lesson, race is different than ethnicity. So this country was built, it doesn't matter how, we won't get into that, all of that. The fact is, it took foreign people to come here and actually make whatever this is that we call home. So
that's right.
Without that, a lot of us wouldn't be here. If you like,
that's right, darling. You're so right, Dutch. You're so right.
Home, you know,
this is home. We can make it better though if we work together.
Yeah, you got to understand what this country is made up of all different types of races, all different types of ethnicities, good, bad, and different. There's not one particular race that's all good. There's not one particular ethnicity that's all good.
You're so right. You're so right.
All right, so we've got some more comments coming in, and I hate to keep cutting people off. Please forgive me for this.
Babe, you enjoy yourself. You be yourself, girl. Don't worry about it, man.
Do what you got.
Yellow Rose.
Do what you got to do. All right, everybody, shut the fuck up. I got the blunt.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah,
so
man.
Yellow Rose gave thumbs up, and I think Yellow Rose was giving thumbs up to Dutchie's. We are the world, and we love being Americans. Damn it.
Goddamn right.
In the Bahamas said, we let the dogs out.
Hey, we know it. Listen, man. We know it's fucked up here, but
it's home. This
don't
is
y'all
home.
got fucked up family members? I know all y'all got fucked up family members.
Yes, we do.
Just think of America like that. You know.
Not me. My family's perfect. Excuse me.
You know, we all got some fucked up shit, just like every country. You can go to another country, but I guarantee you, they're dying to get out of their country because their government is fucked up. So it is what it is. You can either try to escape and go somewhere else, and that's cool too. There's a lot of places most of us would rather be, but
You,
this,
you, you ain't escaping to nothing, man. But
yeah.
we don't realize how good we have it here.
Grass is
But
not greener. All right,
I,
so we got some more comments
yeah,
coming in. Shebang says all the tech China made. Wait, I'm sorry. All the tech made in China would make this impossible for us to survive without them. Should be being produced in all those closed down factories in every community in America. I would, yeah, facts, Shebangs. We need to bring those jobs home if we can, sweetheart.
absolutely agree with that shit.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we got to pay people. Nobody wants to work in a factory because they're not making money.
Yeah,
that's also
facts,
true. True. Too.
facts.
That's why
That's
we have the problem in this country.
yeah. I agree. They definitely got to start. See, this is why nobody wants to work now because of the wages. Now,
Yeah,
that's some shit that needs to be fixed. And they need to bring the jobs home, stop outsourcing shit for cheaper labor. You understand? And then you end up paying them more. You know, outsource for no fucking reason in the first place, you know, because then you end up having to pay more and just pay your people. Pay.
exactly. Pay us a living wage so we
Hey,
can live the American dream and survive in our own country. All right.
all
I'm sorry, Jimmy. Go ahead. What were you
all
about to
these
say?
all these big corporations are going to pay the price now because this country is so damn greedy. They leave people in such disarray. People have to work at McDonald's and then go babysit and go do this, and they're all stressed out because they're only making $7, $8 an hour, and all these companies are making billions of dollars. It's going to slam them in the face so bad, and this is a terrible thing,
Facts. So I'm
But that,
sorry. I laughed because I was reading the comment, and I'm gonna skip to that comment real quick, and then I'm gonna come back. But Colin said, "If it ain't bull light, it ain't right." All right.
What?
It said, "If it ain't bull light, it ain't right." Let's keep the comments coming in, people. All right. So
Who
100
said
proof
that?
says, "Go tell ADOS or ADOS/FBA that they will tell you they built it." Ah, yeah. So about building countries and things like that, I understand what you're talking about. Shebang says we need immigrants, but we also need it to be manageable. I understand that on some point. And honestly, we need to make sure that it's fair across the board, right? So it's not just certain colors coming into this country, but it's those poor countries as well. Um, a
wait,
hundred proof.
pause before you read that comment. I want to piggyback off of that. I have an issue with the fact that they were allowing the Ukrainians to come in, but they turned the Haitians away. I have a big issue with that.
Facts.
That was fucked up. These motherfuckers had horses with whips and all types of way back to fucking slavery type of shit. But they wanted to bring Ukrainian refugees here. That was unfair. That was not.
Exactly.
That is an issue.
And that's exactly what I mean about those third world countries, man. So if you look a certain way, you're allowed to come in, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit easier. You get an easier pass. But if you look another way, if you're of a darker tone, then it may be a little harder for you to get in. If you're Cuban, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're coming from over in Haiti and all these
Right.
other countries, you know what I mean?
That's
And it's
right.
just not
That's
fair.
right.
We got to treat
Yeah.
people fair across the board.
I agree. Yeah.
All right.
Certainly.
Sure.
So 100 proof says blunt. I think they laughing because that's our Pastor Blunt.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
How we
hurry up
do.
and read some of these comments so I can pass the bun along. Shebang says Jimmy sounds like Joey Diaz. Shebang says this. So I think they were giving us a shout out to something we were talking about. 100
Shout
proof
out to
says
them.
racism is also heavy here in our nation. Amen to that. That's a
Yeah.
big
That's
deal
right.
here.
That's
And I
right.
think we all agree with that.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
100
Shebang
proof, don't
says
act new. You've been here before too. 100 proof. I've seen you before. Shout out to you. Don't act
that's
new though.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And Shebang says, "Me too." But Haitians didn't give president's kids 50,000 a month jobs. Well, I mean, I understand that as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. It's always the top that seems to get the better end of the stick, right? Shit falls downhill, and we've been feeling it for a long time.
You have the Clintons. I'm sorry, not the Clintons. The Rodmans to thank for that.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
the Rodmans have a lot to do with but that's another story, another topic also.
That's a whole we gonna get Jimmy riled up over here. So
Let's go. Be careful now, everyone.
And that I think that would be one of the main issues that needs to be tackled. It's four issues: racism, wages, uh, gun laws, Don't take my guns away. Just come up with better laws. Stop giving 18-year-olds guns and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why 18-year-olds need to be and food costs. I have to understand why, of all the things, food costs. We can't be. I know Hawaii is an expensive place, but y'all got to be feeling the food costs over there too.
Man, we definitely feeling it.
Yeah, I know. I was reading a report. Hawaii is very, very expensive.
Oh man,
You're paying actually, I think it was almost 18% more than California's produce, and some of the values of meats and chickens and a lot of other imported stuff. I don't think there was anything with fish, but Hawaii was like the highest in produce expense. It really is amazing, man. I'm traumatized by it. It really is sad.
Let me tell
man.
you,
The best you can do is try to support your local farmers markets, man. And you know,
the thing about again, as I was telling you, I was a paradise in a sense, but not for the people that live here. It's more of a paradise for the people that come to visit. So when it comes to fruit, there's something called stone fruits. Stone fruits are like apples and peaches and all that shit. So that stuff doesn't grow here. So you have to think of in terms of tropical. So by the time that stuff gets here, the shelf life is already small. By the time you get to the grocery store, it's even smaller by the time it gets to you. So the fruit here is not that great. And you have to think of the native fruits that are on this island. So those are generally the only fruits that are going to be the best for you to get. The coconuts, so I was here 10 years ago, and I've been here again for the last 2 years. The coconuts have a sour taste now. It's a very different, it's just something going on with the fruit here.
What, like you mean? Yeah. You mean like, is it something that's environmentally that it tastes sour?
Yeah,
man, we did. So. But do you think that has anything to do with climate change? And see, I feel like we're jumping off all the way on a whole nother topic. So
but no, we're still, but it does have to do with fruit.
What, the expensive food?
With the expensive food,
Bush night. Good night, Bull Light.
So you have to understand, is there a climate change? So this year, it hasn't been its typical sunny, beautiful Hawaii. So it's been very cloudy and so forth. So things need a certain amount of shit to grow. Now, there was some cows. Let me jump over here to on the mainland. You have about 3,000 to 10,000 cows that killed over and died for whatever reason. Oh my God, the heat, whatever else. Okay.
Is this just recently?
This happened about a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Holy moly, man.
It was all over the news. So all these cows, they all fell over in the same position, and it was just like a field of dead cows. If anybody's been paying attention, if anybody has a phone, to Google real quick and check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google that.
Yeah, in the fall, the price of eggs on the mainland that sells are gonna go up to about $12 this fall. Now,
for a dozen eggs?
As I'm saying this to y'all, I want y'all to get your Google together. These cows that died, we're not talking about a small amount of cows. So this is food. This is people that eat meat. You know what I mean? So what do y'all think that's going to do to the prices? Do you know
how much?
Oh yeah, they're going to rise along with, like Shebang says, the gas prices as well. The gas prices are going to head up too, or they already are up.
A bale of hay now, what used to cost, I think, $2 is now $4, and this is for grass-fed animals. So you have to think the cost of what it is to feed the animal. You understand? So these are things that the person doesn't think about that's going to the grocery store to buy this shit. You see what I'm saying? So now the cost of hay has gone up to and feed have gone up to feed these animals. You have thousands of cows that just killed over and died, and they claim that it's environmental reasons. That's why environmental parts of this shit is important. So now they just keel over and die. So now somebody got to replace that shit. You understand?
That's true.
The cost of all of this shit has to be replaced. Somebody just lost a whole lot of money, because you have to think of how much it is to slaughter one cow and what it costs. One cow will feed a family for a year. Do you understand? So somebody's asked out now. Now you have
Facts.
eggs that are going up. You
Well, it's
understand?
going to be the
So
expense of
everything's
bringing
gonna be
cows
going up.
back in, man. Wow, that's
Yeah, man.
crazy.
Yeah. So we got some comments coming in. Yellow Rose says, I love Hawaii. 100 Proof says Texas is getting expensive also.
Yeah, I'm from
Greg
Texas,
says
man.
huge impact on food prices.
Yeah,
And she's talking about the gas. Gas is a huge impact on the food prices. Michael
yeah.
McNair says, I love you guys. This content is getting better. Thanks for the heads up,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Much appreciated. Or Mitchell McNair. Excuse me. 100 Proof says watermelon, grapes, oranges don't have
Oh
seeds like they
man.
used to. Good facts. Good facts.
Oh man,
Yeah.
let's not talk about the seeds, man. Let's not
Man,
talk
that's
about
a whole
that.
nother topic. That's a whole
We'll come
nother
back to
topic.
that topic. Yeah, just
Yeah.
the modification of everything. I no longer eat meat. So I'm not a meat eater. Not because I decided to go all vegan and shit, but because of what's in beef now and because of what's in chicken and shit now. So it wasn't this. I decided one day because I am a Texas girl. So I grew up on beef. I grew up on Angus and all of that. Hell, I grew up on pork, but I stopped eating pork years ago. But hell, I guess I'm glad now I stopped eating meat and shit because the cost to I
It's
guess I
killing us, man. And we can talk about the reasons why it's bad to eat meat maybe on our next show.
yeah,
Because, yeah, man, we need to go more in depth into that because those are some good topics that you're bringing up.
yeah,
100
but
Proof
yeah,
said,
expensive.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I hate to keep cutting people off. I apologize. Y'all can beat me up behind the scenes.
No need, man. Do your thing.
All right, so 100 Proof says I had to park my vehicle and start to catch public transportation, the bus. Man, I totally feel it, man. I'm about to dust off my motorcycle. I promised it to my kid, and I'm about to take it back. Fuck that.
Scooters and everything. Like you have to think. I guess we'll never understand how a country that can print its own money, how in God's name, as much oil. I mean, just as rich as this country. I don't understand. I don't understand. Gas itself, gas out here hasn't hit $6 yet.
It's close. It's close. It may by this weekend because I think I paid for premium. It was $5.99 up near DC this week.
Yeah, it's in some stations it's 6.15 and 6.35 for
Yeah.
premium. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think it depends on what day you go.
I drive. So I have a vehicle on the mainland that takes premium gas. I'm very happy that I did not bring that shit here. What I do drive here is a Dodge that takes 87. I've never been so proud to say that I take 87 gas in all my damn life. Because let me tell you, when I go and I pull up and I see people that got to get diesel gas and people that got to get premium gas, and I'm looking at those prices, and I'm already looking at $5.38. You know what I mean? To fill this big ass truck up, $60 gets me at barely half a tank. So I'm
Girl,
it's
it
crazy.
cost me $105 to fill up my tank last week. I'm gonna
it's
jump
about
back
100.
into some of these comments.
It's a lot of
Man,
money, right?
That's a
yeah,
lot of
man,
money.
it's crazy. It's crazy. That's why you can't go nowhere.
No.
Mitchell McNair says these gas prices are out of hand. 100 Proof came back in Mitchell and said that's why I parked my vehicle. Crumb said, "Can we talk about the possum grease shortage?" I don't know what the hell that is.
Possum grease. Wait.
But wait a
You
minute.
want to
Wait
know
a
what
minute.
that
Wait,
is? No, wait, hold on, Malika, hold on. Can you please give us some
wait.
context?
Let me finish the last. Okay, so then Crumb says, "Shorty looking like Rey Mysterio in that mask."
What?
And then Review HQ says at Crumb, it's a possum, you clown. So what do we mean about the possum grease shortage? What are we talking about, people?
Wow. Somebody's eating possum.
He said Shorty about to jump off the top rope on some WWE shit. Yeah, man, keep fucking with me. I'm coming.
So wait, hold on. So is it rent has also gone up? Obviously, if you got a mortgage, it's a fixed mortgage. But my sister told me earlier this summer, she's out in Dallas, right? Shit, they raised the rent up, I think $200 in Dallas where she was at. And $200 might not seem like a lot to some people, but everybody's not balling. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
social media has given this perception that everybody's got
No, ain't nobody got it like that. Shit.
yeah, you know what I'm
That
saying?
shit hurt my feelings. I
Gas,
almost
the gas
cried.
station is an expensive thing, you know. But from my understanding, rent has gone up like everywhere. I don't know. I know here rent has definitely gone up for a lot of people. Don't even look at what it costs to live out here. It's fucking ridiculous. It's beyond
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I know, man. A lot of people say that.
Yeah,
It's
man.
it's not just ridiculous. It's unfairly ridiculous. Um, the home I live in ranges for about $1.2 million. This is about a $300,000 house if you go to Texas. Am I lying? It's
No, no.
$300, 300 a nice, it's a nice $300,000 house. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just to give you an idea of just how ridiculous and unfair. I have a light bill. Let's talk about energy. My light bill runs about $400 to $500 on the winter months here.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm absolutely serious. Do you remember when I called you about that $700 light bill that I got?
Oh yeah, honey. Oh yeah.
I had a $700
That
light bill, and I
that's
It's
out of
ridiculous.
control. But that's out of control.
yes,
My electrical bill is like $42.
Look, man. Look, man. Y'all starting to depress me. So look, we about to, we,
and
we about to cut this. We about to go ahead and because we about an hour and 20 minutes in. So we gonna say goodnight to everybody because we like to keep it about an hour.
Okay.
So do we have any parting thoughts, folks? We'll start with Jimmy, Dutchy, then we'll come to you.
Good night and bless you both, man. You're awesome. And what happened to Mook? Where's Mook?
He had to hop off real quick. He had to hop off.
Oh, well, listen, I'm here for you guys always. You're awesome, and I wish you all the best. And I hope that all this nonsense passes as soon as possible because people are really hurting, man.
Yeah, amen to that. All right, Dutchy.
I'm high, guys. I've got nothing.
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Thank you for all the comments and thank you for coming in. Until next week, we will talk again.
Wait. Before we go, so we do want to let you guys know that we'll probably be adding a segment where you guys will actually be able to call in, and it's going to be called Ask a Virgo. So we'll get into that a little more later on.
Awesome, man.
So y'all know a little bit more about that, i.e. Virgo number 1, Virgo number 2. So, all right, nighty night.
Good night, y'all.